大家好，我是鲁蛇。感谢网友的关心啊，他说我看到我录的视频太辛苦了，满身大汗。但是我是享受这一个的啊。现在是中午1点，然后晒着太阳对我来说是最幸福的事情，我宁愿这样的满身大汗的录视频，也比在一个空调房里面录视频要好。我记得我上次跟你们分享过了，我的一个减压方法就是我白天在家里是不开空调的，因为我晒完太阳回去洗个冷水澡，然后整天就会很凉快了。晚上呢，我是开足空调了，有多冷开到多冷。这一集呢，我再分享一次是关于这一个睡眠健康的，然后我看我后面能不能加上一段视频呢？是我很喜欢的一个博主，一个非常有钱的网红医生，Follow the money 啊，他那么有钱肯定没错。我讲的或者我对自己的要求呢，应该是学霸级的，我90分嘛，然后他应该是满分的，他100分的，所以不要要求那么高，应该做不到。但是他怎么做呢？我是希望可以给你们做一个分享的。哇，这里蚊子太多了。第一点啊，他讲了10点，我慢慢给你们分享，然后我再把他的原片放到后面去，你们想听的话可以慢慢听。他是把自己的自己的睡房、自己的家，然后可以展示出来，他是怎么来促进他来做好他的睡眠的。第一个呢，就是要尽量的黑。它是绝对把房间里面任何有光的地方啊，包括任何一个小点的光、开关的光，它都全部都灭掉了，保证绝对的黑。第二个呢，就是它是开着空调睡觉的，而且是有多冷开多冷。当然它更奢侈一点，它是开着窗然后开空调睡的，同时保证了它的那一个空气的质量，空气是流通的，温度是低的。还有点他做的是有点过的，我觉得，但是可以学。他是住在一个森林里面，面朝大海的，空气已经好得不得了的前提下，他还开着很多的那一个空气清新机来确保它的空气的那个质量。开着窗，在最冷的环境下睡，有条件的话，你们是可以学习一下。我还没有开着窗，没奢侈到这个地步，也没有森林里的海景房，所以我只能尽量的就用那个空气清新机，另外呢，就是回应了我上一集视频讲的，你看看他穿的那些衣服，都是尽量的用原材料的，纯棉的或者纯羊毛的，尽量少去避开。但是他是运动爱好者啊，他应该也攀岩啊、滑浪啊，所以在最外面需要的时候，他也还是要穿的。但是除了你要进行某一种特殊的活动，比如说冲浪之类的，除此以外，还是尽可能的去穿一些纯棉的或者有机棉的，尽量减少影响我们荷尔蒙的那一些衣物。第5个呢，就是过滤水。但这个比较贵啊，看条件去啊。如果全屋装过滤水的话，我是支持的。如果条件允许的话，尽量的减少水里面的污染，包括水蒸发出来的那一些不好的空气对自己的影响。第6。也是回应我上一个视频的，就是关于那个防晒的，它是不涂防晒的，它是完全不涂。它用的是什么呢？它用的是牛油，其实什么油都可以啊。其实只要是动物油，你涂在自己的脸上，基本上就是很好的一个保护了。你可以认真看一看它那个视频，它是玩冲浪的。应该是最晒太阳的一个运动了，它也不会太黑的，它晒的，它就是用天然的牛油，然后来做它的那一个防晒。然后还有一点，我看到他讲那个牙线啊，就是它避免那一些会影响荷尔蒙的那个细致到它的连牙线的那个材料会不会有那一些不好的那个物质啊？那个物质会不会影响到自己身体荷尔蒙，都尽可能的避免。所以健康很简单了，减少伤害就是健康了。但是减少伤害不容易啊，因为陷阱到处都有，尽可能的知道了就尽量的避开就好了。还有就是他还讲到脸啊，就是长痘、皮肤不好，这一个跟你的脸是否干净，是否要勤洗脸、勤用洗面奶洗脸是没有关系的。举个例子啊。很不干净的膝盖，他的脸不一定有斑的啊。 脸有没有长痘，跟你是否干净没有关系，是跟你的那个肠道。再说一遍，是跟肠道，也就是你的肠道健康，你吃了什么直接相关的。所以你想你的皮肤好，你的脸的皮肤好，最好的办法就是养好你的肠道，而肠道最好的办法就是充足的睡眠。第9点是关于那个牙膏了，跟牙线一样咯。牙膏凡是这种化学用品能避开的就避开。我还认识一些牙医，他是直接劝我不要用牙膏的，你把它洗漱干净、刷干净，再用牙线把牙缝之间的脏的东西给抠干净，再用清水漱口，或者用双氧水，好的没有添加别的纯双氧水，或者椰子油，基本上你的牙齿就可以保持健康的。导致我们牙齿不好，影响让我们的牙齿蛀牙，不是因为我们刷牙刷得不够勤快，有没有添加那一堆的化学用品，导致我们蛀牙。最重要的是因为我们吃了很多加工食品，尤其是含糖量高的加工食品。最后他分享的就是那一个手机了，它是睡觉的时候是飞行模式的。不仅这是第一步而且它是放到厨房里的非常远，飞行模式，同时把家里的 WiFi 全部直接关掉。这点我是认同的，我现在也在做这一点。我这里有很多网友呢是习惯了听着书来睡觉来入眠，我之前也是这个习惯的。所以再次卖货，带一个智能手表，检查一下，可以尝试一下。我是尝试过了之后就改不回来了，就是你把手机放到远一点，不要放在床边，不要有任何蓝牙都不要有任何影响自己，你会发现你入睡的时间快很多。第二呢，就是你的深睡是我是很明显的提升的。如果要听，我宁愿早上起来睡懒觉的时候听，而不是入睡的时候听，或多或少对你的大脑都是会有影响的。不管它的声音啊，你开着手机的各种辐射呀，你把这一些都远离开了，你的睡眠质量是大幅提升的。睡眠可能都是睡8个小时，但是你的深睡，你早上起来的状态是大不同的。这是我个人经验给你们分享的。我是也跟你们很多人一样，从听书啊，听什么，然后慢慢的改过来，觉得晚上是学习时间。还是那句话睡觉是给自己放松的，学习也放下吧，该睡觉就开开心心的睡觉。睡觉的时候呢，可以做这个医生做的那些动作，或者冥想，或者放松，都可以的。我有些时候就会在睡觉的时候，我之前分享过吧，腹式呼吸法，或者我会背一背心经啊，然后让自己慢慢入睡。其实习惯了之后，你的入睡睡眠是快的，关键是你入睡之后，你的深睡的时间在没有任何干扰情况下是有提升的。比如我提升15-20分钟，很多的深睡提高了15分钟。你看看第二天你的状态是不是比之前更好 ？OK， 下面呢就是我会结合在一起分享到后面，你们想看的可以往里面看，但我不知道这个合不合规啊？不合规我再把它切掉了。谢谢大家。
Welcome to the tour of my non-toxic bedroom. Your bedroom is either the most powerful recovery tool that you have, or it's working against you and it's hurting you. For most people, it's the latter. So come with me and check out how I optimize my bedroom. In this video, I'm going to show you the single thing that I removed from my bedroom that made the biggest impact on the quality of my sleep. I'm also going to show you one thing that I do every night without fail for 10 minutes that has a huge impact on my sleep. And when we get to my closet, I'm going to show you what I got rid of that has made a big impact on my health. Okay, so let's start with the most important thing in here, the bed. I was very intentional about the mattress that I chose. I wanted something that was non-toxic. So what's in most mattresses? Polyurethane foam that releases volatile organic compounds into the air. You're breathing those all night. I did not want that. Glues that are potentially also problematic based on what you're breathing. When I was looking for a mattress, I wanted something that met 3 specific standards so you guys can look for mattresses. We're all gonna have different preferences in terms of firmness and softness, but I wanted a mattress that was CertaPure US certified, Clean Air Gold certified, Green Guard Gold certified. These are increasing levels of intensity of the certification, and if you get to the Green Guard Gold, that's a very good mattress, a very clean mattress. So when you're looking for a mattress, I'm not gonna tell you what mattress to buy because I want you to be thinking about this and looking. I'm not gonna endorse any mattress, but what I'll tell you is that it's medium firmness and it meets all of these standards. I didn't want a standard mattress. I didn't want a Sealy or a Posturepedic with the VOCs and the flame retardants and the glues. What's on the mattress? It's all linen. And yes, it's more expensive to have linen sheets, but they breathe well and they're very safe and they're very clean. If you get cotton sheets, make sure they're organic. So I have linen pillowcases, linen sheets, and a wool blanket here for more warmth. You guys know, the other thing to say is that this bedroom, I just sleep in here. I don't work in here with my laptop on the bed. I don't scroll on my phone in the bed at night. I don't even read books in my bed, guys. So when I come in this room, my body knows this is our sleep place. I promised you I was gonna show you something that I do every night for 10 minutes that really improves my sleep. Before I go to sleep, I will lay on my back with my feet up. Oh, it feels good in the middle of the day. Like that for 10 minutes. There are actually studies done showing that this sort of blood recirculation, lymphatic drainage is very relaxing. This is the last 10 to 15 minutes before I go to sleep. I'll be in here at night. Obviously the room is dark. I'll talk to you guys about that in a second, but I will lay with my feet up on the wall for 10 minutes before I go to sleep. And I will just do deep breathing. I'll do box breathing, 4 in, hold for 4, exhale for 4, wait for 4, or I will do 4, 7, 8 breathing, inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. I'll do deep breathing. I'll just relax. I'm sort of trying to meditate while my feet are up on the wall. It helps me relax, and I'm allowing the blood and the lymph to kind of drain back. Putting your feet up on the wall like this before you go to sleep is a huge hack that a lot of people don't even know about. So there you go. The other things to think about in my room are air quality and light. In this room at night, it will come as no surprise to you that I have no blue lights, no flickering LEDs. All I have is a single red incandescent bulb in here. I am not a fan of LEDs because of the blue light to disrupt circadian rhythms, the suprachiasmatic nucleus in your brain, the production of melatonin in your brain, pre-sleep, and then right before you go to bed. And I don't like the flickering of these lights, especially your phone. Flickering lights, either red or blue, can trigger your sympathetic nervous system. This is your fight or flight nervous system. You don't want to do that before you sleep. That's going to totally mess up the architecture of your sleep throughout the night. The other thing I have at night is blackout curtains. So every window in this room, right now, it's the afternoon. Every window in this room has blackout curtains. I don't want any light coming in. As much as I can possibly limit it. I also want the room to be as cold as possible. In the middle of the day right now, it's in the 80s in Costa Rica, but at night, I'm cranking that air conditioner up as far as I can and getting this room cold and dark. And that brings me to the next thing I'm going to think about while I'm sleeping, which is the quality of the air in this room. I'm on the 2nd floor here. I don't actually close this all the way. Even though the air conditioning is working, I'm not going to close this all the way. I'm going to close it most of the way. This isn't the most absolutely energy efficient thing, but I want air circulation in the room. I want there to be some airflow because I'm thinking about the CO2 level in the room. So I always have a carbon dioxide meter in my room. Right now it's 508 parts per million because it's essentially open air. But if you use one of these and you test your home, if you're using air conditioning, it's recirculating in your home. If you are closing all your doors and windows during the day in the winter because you're trying to save money on the heat, or in the summer because you're trying to save money on air conditioning, you'll see the CO2, the carbon dioxide levels in your home rise to 800, 900, over 1,000 parts per million. There's been studies done in people sleeping in rooms that were 8,000, 9,000 parts per million. And the next day they actually exhibited decreased cognitive function. So what I'm doing every single day in my life, I'm trying to balance air quality with temperature and light in my room at night to get the most optimal environment. Think about this, guys. For most of our evolution as humans, we slept outdoors. I'm happy that I don't have to sleep in the jungle anymore with tarantulas, scorpions, and snakes. But in my home environment, I'm trying to balance all these physiologic needs of my body. And my body and your brain do not want extra CO2 in your room at night. So you have to think about how to balance this. How do you get fresh air, but also have your room be cool enough and then be safe if you're on a ground floor or you're in a place where you can't open a window. But do not sleep on carbon dioxide levels in your room at night, guys. This is a really important hack. Another super important thing in my bedroom is air quality. So I've got an air filter. I've got a Jasper. I love this thing. It actually tells you, if you look here, what the level of PM 2.5 is in the room. That's particulate matter 2.5 microns. There's data showing that if that gets too high, if that gets much above 5, you're going to degrade your sleep quality and you're going to degrade the quality of the air in your house even during the day. I try to sleep with the windows open a little bit because I'm on the second floor here and I can get some fresh air in combination with the air conditioning to keep the CO2 low. But I also love the air filter so that I can clean the air. There's not a lot of particulate matter here in the surrounding jungle to actually pollute the air, but even with the house closed, I like these to filter the air. As humans, we spend 95% of our days indoors and at least a third of that time, hopefully, in the bedroom. So you want the air quality in your house where you're spending the majority of your time. You want that air quality to be as pristine as possible. It's definitely a worthwhile investment to get some sort of an air filter. If you guys have found this video valuable so far, please like this video. It helps it reach more people. If you find my content valuable in general, hit the subscribe button. You'll get all the notifications right away. And I'd love to hear what you guys are doing in your bedrooms. Leave a comment below to let me know how you're optimizing your bedroom. Okay, let's keep going. So I'm in my bedroom at night, probably 8.5, 9 hours. I go to sleep early. I get up early to go surf. And so I'm in the bedroom at night trying to sleep at least 8 hours, which means I give myself a little time on either end to wind down, meditate, whatever. And then I'm also in my bedroom sometimes in the middle of the day because I like to take a nap when I have time with my work schedule. Not a huge nap, but there's actually pretty interesting evidence that a nap in the middle of the day can improve neuroplasticity. So this is cool. And the optimal time for napping is probably 20 to 30 minutes. If you go longer than 20 to 30 minutes, you start to get this nap fatigue, this residual inertia, the sleep inertia if you're sleeping too long. But a 20 to 30 minute nap, I mean, NASA has tested this, is restorative. And in studies of the brain, it actually changes long-term potentiation, the way neurons connect, and improves your neuroplasticity. So if I can carve out 20 to 30 minutes in the middle of the day, amidst the work, amidst the researching and the podcasting or the filming or whatever else I'm doing, I will come back to my room, close the drapes, put a shirt over my eyes, put the earplugs in, and try and get a mini micro nap, 20 to 30 minutes, because I do find that it helps me be more creative and have more neuroplasticity, at least subjectively, in the afternoon. I know for a lot of you guys, taking a nap is not possible, but on weekends, or if you can find a way, if you're working from home, to get in a nap, this could improve your neurological function later in the afternoon. So in this video, I'm showing you guys everything I do in the bedroom to optimize my sleep, but a lot of what I do to optimize my sleep happens outside of the bedroom also. It's what foods I'm eating and when I'm eating them. And so if you guys have questions about dietary stuff, which diet is the best for you, there's a bunch of resources on my website. Check it out. They're all free. There's a quiz to help you determine what is a good diet type to start with. It's at paulsaladinomd.com. Improving the quality of the foods you're eating during the day and thinking about when you're eating them can significantly improve the quality of your sleep that happens in the bedroom also. Okay, I'm going to show you guys my bathroom and my closet, and then I'm going to tell you the one thing that I got out of my room that made a huge difference in my sleep quality. Come into my closet. When you're looking at clothes, I would recommend looking at wool or organic cotton. A lot of people talking interestingly recently about the cotton industry is not that clean, and that if you're not wearing organic cotton, you could be getting exposed to pesticides or chemicals that are in the cotton. Again, I'm not trying to make this out of reach. I'm just telling you guys information. You can do with it what you will. I certainly have clothes that I use sometimes that are not organic cotton, but ideally you want to be looking for organic cotton that doesn't have pesticides. The concern being that these would get absorbed into your skin from the cotton. We'll need to do more research to figure out how many of them are retained in the cotton versus washed out when you wash your clothes regularly. And I like wool. I've traveled a bunch and I have a bunch of wetsuits. So when I go to California, when I go to Australia, when I go places in the world that's colder surf, I got my wetsuits. These are my warm clothes for when I travel. You might point this out. I do have a piece of polyester here. This is a jacket that I only use in the coldest conditions and maybe if I'm camping. Most of the time I'm just using natural fibers. But again, look, even I'm not perfect. And when you're in the mountains and you're camping or backpacking, there is a time and a place for synthetic fibers because if they get wet, they still keep you warm. But most of what I'm using on a daily basis is not synthetic. It's time for a pants purge. I got 6 pairs of pants. That's too many. I've got some bathing suits here, board shorts. Again, these are not cotton. That doesn't work in the ocean. So I'm contradicting myself, but yes, I have some synthetic clothing. I use it as little as possible. And I've got my shorts that I wear on a day-to-day basis. These are linen that I'm wearing right now. Most of the time I'm wearing cotton shorts, and I've been able to find recently some organic cotton shorts that I like as well. So that's pretty much my closet. Here, come in my shower with me. I have only 1 bar of soap. It's a natural goat soap. I don't use shampoo. Again, I'm a guy. My hair is fine without it. I go in the ocean. Salt water is the product I use in my hair. I don't like body washes because of the fragrances, the phthalates, the parabens. Most shampoos have ingredients that I can't pronounce and my great-grandmother wouldn't recognize, so I don't use them. I understand if you have longer hair, you're a woman and you want a good shampoo, but I think men or women, we should be aware that a lot of the personal care products we use have endocrine disrupting chemicals, and you should clean that up as much as possible. You'll see that when I take you to my bathroom in a second. It's very simple for the same reason. The water for the whole house is filtered. I think when you're showering in your home, if you're just getting direct municipal water, you want to use a shower filter. There are a lot of things in your water, from pesticides to pharmaceuticals, even potentially metals, that can be absorbed into your body by inhalation. So if I'm in a shower, I want this water to be as clean as possible. I would recommend either putting a filter on your whole house, or if you can't do that, if you're in an apartment, they sell lots of filters on Amazon that can go directly onto your shower to improve the quality of the water in your shower. Just know that when you're in the shower, especially if it's a warm shower, you are breathing in chemicals, and those can easily be absorbed into your body through the lining of your lungs. So be careful with that. And I'll show you guys this because it's kind of cool. They call that one a waterfall shower. All right, let me show you guys my bathroom. You can see all of my myriad personal care products. No, this is it. This is all I use on a daily basis, guys. I don't use stuff for my face. I don't use lotions. I use a tallow-based sunscreen when I go surf. That's in my car. But I don't put anything else on my face on a daily basis. So what do I use? I use floss twice a day. I don't want a Gore-Tex floss. A lot of floss out there contains PFAs, perfluoroalkyl substances. These are forever chemicals. In this study specifically, women who use Glide floss, who use a Gore-Tex floss, had significantly higher levels of PFAs in their body. If you are flossing your teeth with a PFA-containing substance, you're creating a lot of tension, a lot of stress on the floss, and you can easily absorb it into your gums or swallow it. So this is a PFA-free floss. I've used 2 different types of toothbrushes recently. This is a boar's hair toothbrush, and I've recently upgraded plant-based bristle toothbrush. I know this is the only thing I use that's plant-based, and apparently these bristles are made from castor oil. Why did I do this? I don't want microplastics coming from the plastic bristles of the toothbrush, so I'm thinking about it a lot. And the one thing that I have to fix is that there's a little light here on my toothbrush that pisses me off so much at night, because I'm here in my dark room with red light and I have this blue light on my toothbrush. Why would you do that? Why? So when I come in at night, I'll floss my teeth, I'll brush my teeth, and I wear contacts, which is just part of my life. So I've got my contact solution here. That's pretty much it. The other thing that I do at night is I use a breathing strip over my nose to open my nasal passages. I like these. It helps me breathe at night. I don't snore, but I'd rather get as much airflow into my nose as possible. So when I go to sleep, you guys can imagine this. I've got earplugs, I've got a breathe right strip over my nose, and I've got a mask over my face. I've actually just found that a regular t-shirt works the best. So I've got a cotton t-shirt, but that's how I sleep and it works good. I don't use creams. I don't use any weird things on my face. The whole acne industry is kind of bullshit. I'm telling you, you're getting acne because your face isn't clean enough and you need more benzoyl peroxide. I say hogwash. If you're getting acne, look to your diet. Acne is an immune type of process in your skin. I think it's very responsive to diet. So I think that if you're having skin issues, the first thing to do is clean up your diet. Single best intervention you can do. Obviously, I have some sun damage on my skin from being out in the sun so long surfing, but otherwise, my skin is clear. I don't get zits. I don't get any blemishes. I'm 48 years old. Every once in a while, the only thing you could say that I put on my face is tallow every once in a while to moisturize it when I'm traveling in more dry climates. But here in Costa Rica, I don't need any of that. My skincare regimen is super simple. It's the food I eat. I shower in water that's clean and filtered. I don't use shampoo, and I use a simple, clean, natural goat's milk soap. That's all I do. The other thing you'll notice is I don't have toothpaste here. I don't want fluoride in my mouth. You could get a fluoride-free toothpaste. Yes. Toothpaste, I feel like, is kind of a scam. The point of brushing your teeth is to disrupt the plaque on your teeth. That's what the toothbrush is doing. So more and more toothpaste, I think, are being called out. There was recently a natural toothpaste that got called out for significant levels of lead. You're not swallowing the toothpaste, but You can absorb it through your gums. I don't want more chemicals in my mouth. I don't want my breath to smell minty fresh. I want my breath to smell like human breath. If you have bad breath, it's not because you're not using enough toothpaste. It's because you have dysbiosis in your gut and you're eating the wrong foods. So I like to be minimalist and I don't use toothpaste. I think it's kind of BS. I think it's mostly a scam. There may be some data that a calcium hydroxyapatite in your toothpaste may help with remineralizing your teeth. Basically, I think that the best way to remineralize your teeth is not a toothpaste. And science will show this. It is the quality of the foods you eat, which affect the immune system and the odontoblasts in your teeth and the nutrients you are getting in your diet. So if you are a vegan, that is a sure way to demineralize your teeth. I had a vegan phase once, guys. I went to the dentist and they told me I had 7 cavities. I didn't do anything for them. I just started eating meat again. And within 3 months, they were all completely gone. I had nothing done to those cavities. Modern dentistry is a little bit of a scam as well. They didn't tell me they could heal, but they definitely can based on the quality of your food. So if you want to use toothpaste, look for something that's natural, fluoride-free, that's been tested for heavy metals, and read the ingredients. And for Pete's sake, don't swallow it. And realize that if you're giving your kids a fluoride toothpaste, those fluoride toothpastes often get swallowed. And the fluoride levels in toothpaste are literally hundreds of times higher than what's in your drinking water. And if there's fluoride in your drinking water, why are you not filtering it in the first place? The fluoride stuff is obviously very concerning to me. There are studies showing that children exposed to high levels of fluoride have lower IQ. Why is this in our drinking water? To help with remineralization of teeth, to help with cavities. Those are problems of poor diet, processed sugar, and inadequacy of fat-soluble nutrients. Those are not something you fix with fluoride. Fluoride is not something to have in your drinking water. It's not something to have in your toothpaste. Yes, some foods and some drinking waters have low levels, but nothing like the fortification you're gonna find in municipal sources. So that's my rant on toothpaste and fluoride. I don't use it. There's no point to it. So that's the bathroom. Check this out, guys. I promised you earlier that I would tell you something that I'd removed from my bedroom that significantly improved my sleep quality. It's my phone. Not surprisingly, my phone is 100% on airplane mode at night. The Wi-Fi in my house is off at night. In fact, I try to use the Wi-Fi in the house as little as possible from the very beginning, but the phone is very far away from my bed. The cellular data is off, the Wi-Fi is off, and the Bluetooth is off. There are a couple of small studies suggesting that phone proximity to you during the night can negatively affect sleep. And I don't want to be looking at this at night. The phone flickers in a horrible way. I hate that. So moving your phone as far away from your bedroom as possible is a huge hack that will improve the quality of your sleep. Don't scroll at night. Don't put it near your bed. Get it as far away as possible. It lives right here. It's still in my bedroom if I need it, but it's 20 feet away from my bed. All right, guys, so that's the bedroom tour. I talked about my bed, the sheets, the air, the light, the CO2. I showed you my shower. I showed you my bathroom. I showed you my closet. This is kind of an intimate look into how I sleep at night. And it's a simple room. It doesn't even really look that lived in because I don't spend much time in there. I get up in the morning, I go surf, I come back at night, right before I'm ready to go to sleep, put my legs up on the wall, and that's it. So I think the simpler you can have your bedroom, the more easy it is for your mind and your body. And I want the fewest things in there. I want natural things in there. I don't want polyester and plastics. I don't want a bunch of EMF or clutter in my bedroom or my bathroom. It's super simple. It's valuable to me. I spend at least 8 hours a night there, preferably 9 or 10. I'm aiming for at least 8 hours of sleep, which means I might be in my bedroom for 10 hours a day if I'm winding down or meditating. That's a significant part of the day. So I think optimizing your bedroom as much as possible is a huge return on investment. It's a hugely valuable ROI for you. Think about this, guys. Let me know how your bedroom looks in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.